Hello, guys. I am Shane Davis, under the weather, but here today we're going to talk about how DC and Marvel Comics could potentially start cracking down on artists doing commissions of their copyrighted characters. Before we do that, look down below, smack that like button, if you will, hit like, subscribe, ring that bell for notification. What's stopping you, I ask? What is stopping you? All right, so this has been circling the internet. Everybody's seen it. Daniel Warren Johnson's commission, Batman choking out a police ICE agent, has been going viral at New York Comic Con this week. Now, Daniel Warren Johnson, a lot of people know him because of Transformers, rightfully so. That run has been a big seller for Skybound, a big seller for comics in general, resurrecting Transformers from the IDW tomb of death. It is what it is. So why is he drawing Batman sketches? Well, he happens to be doing a Batman annual that we've talked about on this channel. It was first announced in San Diego Comic-Con. But the Batman annual, if you scroll down, Yanzi, will show that Batman is going to be fighting white supremacists. We talked about that as just that was a big announcement at San Diego Comic-Con. And I thought that was just weird. The white supremacist thing, the working class, they just have white hoods on. It's obviously not the Klan. It's just kind of what it is. I thought it was strange at the time. And then I see this ICE agent thing and I'm like, okay, and in between all this, we had the Red Hood thing with Gretchen making comments about Charlie Kirk's death and that book getting pulped. So obviously the Batman office has a certain political opinion. That is what it is. What do you want me to say about it? I don't know. Guys, I would rather Marvel and DC characters be fence sitting on politics or just not touching them all together, to be honest, because I want to see comics sell more than less. And you're talking about something like politics, obviously can be very divisive to at least half of the American buyers. And why even do that? And then even if you're appeasing the half that voted for your guy, who's to say they even want that shit in their comic? But anyways, do I think this is a problem? Yes, I do, but for different reasons. Do I think Daniel Warren Johnson should get canceled? No, I don't. But we're going to talk about why this is super problematic. And it's mainly because it went viral. One of those things is Marvel and DC kind of look the other way when you're doing commissions. As a comic artist, I was allowed to sketches at the DC booth and stuff like that. But there was this rule at the DC booth, no money can be exchanged. No, 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 no. And I never really understood that rule until I think years back, Sean Gordon Murphy got with a lawyer friend and it was this whole debate online. And it basically came to fruition through a legal advice that technically you can't sell a Batman sketch without DC Comics permission because they own that character. And this is something that the companies do look the other way, just so you are able to go to a Comic-Con and, so, you go to a panel, you go to whatever, you hang your prints, you're kind of advertising the company. But just like, say, when politics go too far, like, say, with the Red Hood fiasco, right? That book getting pulled. What happens when a commission goes viral with an upcoming book attached to it that's fighting white supremacists? People at Warner Brothers might start to say this is problematic and maybe we can't keep looking the other way. What do you think, Yanzi?
I think this is one of those things where it's a case of unfortunate timing, kind of like how you decided to do all that stuff. Gretchen Falcon Martin talking about, Charlie Kirk was one thing by itself, but then the fact that she talked about offing off police officers and all that at a sensitive time. And it so happened that this is a sensitive time for the country where there are a lot of arrests being done by ICE, trying to get rid of all the illegals in the country. And there are even news reports of ICE agents being doxxed or assaulted just for doing their job. So, see, this is 3 days ago. And this was, of course, around the time when this commission also came up. So it's considered bad timing in a way, that he had to do this. Now, I want to give this perspective as a Singaporean, and that is that I personally do not get this whole we don't trust the cops, we don't trust enforcement officers kind of thing. Because I come from a high trust country, and we just trust the cops and whoever to do the right things to protect the citizens. And yes, I get it. There are corrupt cops in Gotham City. That is like the whole year one plot for Batman. I don't know how that applies to Absolute Batman, but it seems like there's this whole conflict here because in Absolute Batman, Bruce Wayne is a blue collar Batman, contrasted with the billionaire Joker. You see, there's this whole reverse thing happening. So, like, okay, now billionaire is bad, blue collar is good, so cops are bad. Maybe it's like this extreme turning on the head of all this Batman mythos is just going to create fan confusion down the road, you realize. Especially when you have someone like James Gunn, obviously using the old billionaire Bruce Wayne in his movies.
Right. On the Batman thing and Absolute Batman, we've talked about this before, but the reason this Batman is so radically different is because a public domain is approaching. Just like Jim Lee said in his speech at New York Comic Con, it is one of the things the company will be facing in the near 10-year future. But back to this point. So Warner Brothers looking the other way for artists to do things like this is pretty much fine, I think. And they've done it to a point, except Marvel. Marvel actually wants their artists to run their prints through them, and they allow you a certain run. They charge you more for the prints. You'll pay about double than if you got them done yourself, but you get access to the Spider-Man logos and stuff like that. Now, Marvel wants to do that just so they can kind of make sure that, well, one, that they're keeping you from selling too many, right? And they realize we don't want to pay these artists to go to cons. We don't want to pay these people to sign books for us and stuff like that. So we're just going to give them permission to sell a few prints that they've done, run it through us. We'll make some money off of it, but we actually get to limit how many they do and the content that they're actually trading. Right. So all of a sudden, the Spider-Man print, the artist isn't going on there and drawing like a Spider-Man dong flapping around. Marvel would say, no, that's not the art. This is the art, like stuff like that. So now this commission thing is technically the same thing. It's the same problem, whether it's a print or whether it's their character, it's still the same problem. And I'm telling you, stuff like this has been an issue before in comics. Archie comic artists before had drawn Betty and Veronica one time nude. And Archie Comics has like told all the artists, you can't draw our characters nude. And one, I think Diagiorno or somebody actually erased and drew them nude, and they still got in trouble for it. There's a famous George Perez commission where Starfire's on the bed and Robin is getting dressed and she's completely nude. You guys can look that up. These are problematic to the company. And this type of thing could issue new guidelines for artists, what you can and can't draw for a commission. And this could be very problematic for everybody because then it comes into, what do you charge? Does the company get some money out of it? What's their take? How many commissions are you allowed to draw a year of said character? To be honest, guys, if you want to go to cons, you want to make your money doing commissions and stuff like that, wake up. You don't have the right to do that. Marvel sued the creator of Ghost Rider for going to cons saying he's the creator of Ghost Rider and for selling prints. Neil Adams had to bail him out for that. Okay, there is legal footing from these companies. You could ruin commissions for all comic artists at Comic Cons by doing this type of shit. This is really bad. I don't know why anybody even has to explain this to you. Plus, let's just say you're going up to bat on the Batman book. Why bring politics into the book? Is there a reason for that? I mean, is there not enough politics on the news? Why do they need it in the book? Now, I kind of called bullshit on that cover where Batman in this annual is fighting white supremacists. And at first I'm like, well, maybe I'm just snapping at, at flies here. Maybe it's nothing. But it's obviously looking like there's a political agenda in the Batman office. I mean, which is to me super problematic as a Batman fan. I like the character. I want to buy Batman merchandise, but this type of shit makes me think I'm not. And I've seen tons of tweets this weekend where people are like, I'm canceling my pull list. I'm done with DC. All because of a commission. Because of one artist lining his pocket with a Batman sketch. I mean, we're in a different age where things can go viral, artwork can go viral, and this commission really wouldn't mean anything if it wasn't by an artist working on the title.
Well, for people to say, it's our right as a creator to depict our values upon a company's copyrighted character. May I suggest then that everyone is allowed to do the same thing? Oh, you don't like the version that says police eyes? Okay, well, maybe you can draw your own version that says Antifa. How about that? You see what I'm saying? Then you're going to tell somebody, no, then you can't put your politics in there because your politics are wrong. Because if you want to say, this guy is allowed to put his politics in the art, they have to say, that guy is allowed to put his politics in the art. Why can't we just say, nobody put any politics in their art? Just draw the damn character and have some fun. That's it. The end.
Yeah, remember, guys, comics are fun first, right? And them being fun is what makes people buy them. Anyways, leave us your thoughts on this down below. I'm kind of curious where you guys stand on this. I get this is a different take, but honestly, guys, you guys are playing with fire and commissions from these major corporate companies, really. Shane Davis says, Annatomic, we are closing this down the 1st of November. We're lettering this now, getting ready to get these books off to print. Make sure you secure your copy of this awesome prequel series to Inglorious Rex. If you're new to Inglorious Rex, you can get it in our shop on 9lightscomics.com. There's Inglorious Rex, Starlight Cat, Sixth Sin. All of these great books ship out next day. This is a pre-order. We're probably going into fulfillment, I think, into January for sure. So grab a copy of this while you can, and we'll leave you guys with a trailer for this smash hit comic.
If fighting was a god, I would worship him. I would bow to him. I would pray for victory. For he only grants opportunities. But behind every god lurks a devil. And the devil wants me to take a dive. My name is Annatomic. And this is how my legend was made.